Good, guys? It's your boy Freestyle Steve coming back with it again, and I'm just doing my thing here, just chilling out. You know, hopped into my Ubuntu machine and just doing some terminal things, playing around, and there was a distribution upgrade. So, I was on Ubuntu 16.04 LTS, and LTS stands for long-term support. There is various versions of Ubuntu out there, various different flavors, and long-term support releases, as well as I don't know what the exact name it is, but they aim for like new features and whatnot, and I think new releases, like not long-term support releases, but I think standard new releases come out. It's like every 6 months, and I think those are kind of just what they incorporate new little things here and there, things that they're working on. Yeah, I don't know if those are considered stable releases. They might be. It just seems like they're release every 6 months, whatever little new stuff comes in. But the and the difference with those is I think they're only supported for a certain amount of time. I think they get supported. Is it like 10 months, maybe a year, maybe 9 months? Until the next release comes out, and then you get it right away. You get whatever that 9 months support or whatnot. But the LTS releases, they give you a little bit more in terms of like update security patches, updates for stuff like that and whatnot. And I think they're 5 years, 5 years for a long-term support release. But yeah, anything. We were at we were at um we were at a 16.04 LTS, and we just upgraded to 18.04, and it was quite a while. I actually did a video of the upgrade, but it went like an hour and 30 minutes, and it's kind of weird now how the Ubuntu is working. Let me give me a second to even it should be capturing my screen fine, but I'm using a monitor, so it was something with like how I had my display mirrored or something to that effect, where it actually recorded my laptop screen, which didn't have any of the activity going on, as the main monitor had like the terminal stuff going on and whatnot. But yeah, I upgraded and it seemed to go fine. I got a couple of warnings during the upgrade, as you can see your output there, but I didn't really pay attention to them because it was a pretty clean install. I actually excuse me, guys. I actually blanked my installation last night. I was, with Python thing, I uninstalled Python 3. I had Python 2 on there, and I wanted to upgrade. I think I installed it correctly. There was, everything was fine, but something in me, I like always messing around with stuff, and something in me, was saying that, well, maybe there would be a conflict, between Python 2 and Python 3, something like that. So after the fact, I thought, well, maybe it wasn't a good idea to actually do that. So along the lines of that's the only thing I could think it was, along the lines of uninstalling Python 3, it seemed like my system was blanked. Once I was logging back into my Ubuntu setup, I wasn't able to get any it was just okay, let me see. I want to adjust the I don't even know how to do that now. It's a different kind of, I was going to say I want to adjust the time, unless that's in the settings now. But okay. Oh, but anyway, yeah, guys, I'll have to look at all this later or in a little bit as we go through it. But yeah, so I upgraded, and oh no, I'm sorry, with the Python thing. So yeah, I blanked my installation, and then after that, I kind of like, I did this a lot of times, so I just figured I could reinstall it. So I tried, and I was running into issues. Like I was getting a kernel panic. Like it was I don't know what it was, something with the flash drive. But what it came down to was the writing software that I was using to write to my flash drive. It had two different options. When you write, there was an option to write it as an ISO image or write as a DD, or I think it just says DD. I'm assuming that means DD image or something. So it says ISO one's recommended, but I'm using the MacBook, so I went ahead and did that, and that didn't work. I redid it again, and it didn't work. So then I thought, well, maybe I'll do the DD one. And once I did the DD one, that worked. And I didn't know what to choose for the master boot record, UEFI or BIOS thing. There's like three options there. I just chose the recommended one where it says UEFI or BIOS instead of one in particular. So I did that, and it seemed like everything was fine, working good after I installed everything, of course. And I installed that, put a couple of my games on, and just started messing around with the terminal. And I think I did the what is it, app get dist upgrade, just to check. And sure enough, it told me something along the lines like you're using the latest version of 16.04, but there is an upgrade to 18.4, or you're all up to date with 16.04, but there's an up something like that, but there is an upgrade. So I thought, okay, cool. And I went through it, and like I said, guys, I did a video, but the video was like an hour and a half, and it was also a chance for me to test the capture card too. What's rather weird with this capture card that I have is sometimes it'll break the videos up into 15 minutes, which it says it does in the instructions, but sometimes it won't, and I don't know how it dictates that, if it's like got to go to like a blank screen or a black screen or something. It's rather weird because even with my contrast videos, like two of those videos, video 3 and video 4, were 22 minutes, so they were definitely over the 15-minute mark, and then the third video was 9 minutes because I was done. So I don't know how this how this capture card constitutes breaking up the files. But to me, it seems like when the screen goes black is when it'll cut out and do, like, if you're like changing a menu or something, and a main menu, like you exit the game, and the screen goes black, then for a little bit, then that's when it seems like to me that it switches to another file. Like it'll say, okay, now you're on file 2. Because like I said, with contrast, they were 22-minute files. They were definitely above the 15-minute time limit. And with the last video I did with this installation, it was like an hour and a half, and it was one long file. It didn't break it up into multiple 15-minute files like it says it does. So that this capture card has got rather weird behavior. I don't understand exactly, but yeah, we went ahead and did the installation like that, through the terminal. Then it brought me to a graphical user interface where I went ahead and installed from there. And once we installed, I got a couple errors. Like I said, I didn't put too much stuff on here, just my typical games, PPA from one of my games. That's about it. But I didn't pay much attention to the errors because this was not necessarily a clean installation, because even though I did boink it, I didn't do a fresh clean installation. Once you run the live disk on your flash drive or however you run it, there's options when you come to the installation part, and there was like, something else was one of the options you could choose, where I know you could set up your partitions there and do what you got to do. There was install Ubuntu as your main operating system, where it'll just boom, that's that. And then it said run Ubuntu along your other operating system, which we're already doing. And then there was, reinstall Ubuntu, which was pretty much what I wanted to do. So I just chose that option. So like I said, it wasn't necessarily a fresh, clean installation, as rather more a fresh reinstallation. So I did get a couple errors in the terminal during the upgrade, but like I said, other than pretty clean from boinking my installation last night and reinstalling it this morning and pretty much updating everything that I had to, I think I'm okay. What messed me up though, which I learned my lesson, was a Python thing. I upgraded the well, didn't necessarily upgrade it, but I installed Python 3 on my system because Ubuntu, well, let's see now, which was weird. So if you go to your terminal, and if you go, let's see, okay, yeah, see Python 2.7 2. Control D to exit out. All right. So a 2.75 or whatever. So, I wanted to install the later version, and I did, and it seemed to install fine, and when I would type Python at the terminal, of course, it would get me that, Python 2.75. But if you typed Python 3, let's see, because it said it installed them in this release, so I'm curious. Yep, look, okay, so cool. So, I went ahead and installed the Python 3, and everything was working fine. It just, for some reason, I thought maybe there'd be something conflicting, so I don't know why I got that idea. And I thought, well, I better uninstall Python 3. And sure enough, along the, uninstallation of a Python 3, once I restarted my system, it would come up fine. My boot screen would show up and everything, and my login, but I would get, my dash on the side. I didn't get none of that and nothing. I mean, I had my desktop, no icons there, nothing, just my desktop and my apps on there. But when I'd go into the folders or whatever, it was fine. You'd still have, all these locations here and stuff. But then when you'd click something, it would just freeze. It wouldn't go. But so yeah, it was pretty much screwed up. I reinstalled 16.04, did a couple updates, and then just noticed that there was an upgrade, so I went ahead and did the upgrade. So we are in 18.04. So this is pretty much new to me. I think it's probably new to a lot of people. That, I mean, not those that have been keeping up, but I don't keep up with what they're doing. I just work with what I have, and then if I get prompted for an update or upgrade or whatever, I'll do it, and that's that. So this is, I've seen none of this, so it's definitely a little different than the 16.04 version. 16.04 had kind of a more, purplish background, as this one has a little purple, but it seems to gradient, I guess, as if you could see from the left side of the screen. The gradient, once it hits like a certain part, it starts to gradient into like an orange. And then this looks like a little, I don't know what it is. Is he like a little character or something like that? As with the with the other Ubuntu, it was kind of just like a purple background. There wasn't this little well, the default background. There wasn't this little outline of a character or whatever. And it's kind of different now how it has the time over here and stuff. It says Friday. You click that in your calendar. As before on the right side, I would have where my username would display, and then I'd have the time and all that. And I had 12-hour time, not 24-hour time. So that's kind of definitely new to me. That's cool. I didn't have my setup like that. And as I said, I did install it earlier, and I did a video. And actually, during the installation, what was cool, seeing the terminal output and stuff. I guess you can say live during the installation, the wallpaper actually did update or change to this one, so it was kind of cool. And the battery icon too, because my battery icon that I have in that I had in 16.04 was this one, is up and down. It's vertical. That one was laying on its side. It was horizontal. So we've got a couple of changes here. It looks like the what could you call this? Is this Unity? The launcher dock on the side is a little different. It seems to be transparent. So that's kind of cool. You just, well, there's your applications buttons there. You know what I didn't, okay, that's called the app, but you know what I don't see? Let's see, which I guess that's not a big deal unless I have to install that. I don't know if that was something extra installed, but I don't see the dash, or unless this thing is called the dash now. But on 16 point on it's going kind of slow, but that's okay. That's because I don't have a whole, you know. But on 16.04 there was that purple button, and then it would say dash and come up, and you unless I install that extra along the line, I don't see the dash. Unless this acts as the dash. Let's see. Okay, show. Oh, well, maybe sort of. This almost looks like Fedora like. Yeah, look how it is. Wow, that's kind of cool. So here's my dash. Okay. I don't know if it's my dash or not, but so if you hit applications, you go to frequent, whatever use frequent, all type, you know, see what comes up. That's all right. And then, it'll show you the files, what kind of files come up. Okay, what comes up there. Okay, nice. So I guess if I want to, how do I, okay, just click around. That's cool. I wonder why it told me, whoa, double click fast. Let's see. Control H to show hidden. Yeah, okay, there we go. That's where you would put for your launcher and stuff. All right, so that's pretty dope. So yeah, it's definitely new to me. That kind of freaked me out here. So if we look at this, it looks like this is maybe our applications grid. I don't know if it's a replacement for the dash. I'm so used to 16.04 with that dash, purple dash button, purple dash icon, where it says dash, and you could even just, you know, type, and it would even show you like other stuff like stuff for like prices on Amazon and whatnot. It was rather different. I didn't use it much, so it could have been extra, as well, but I didn't use it a whole lot. So that's that. But yeah, so I guess this might replace the dash, but you can search for anything you want. So like, if you want to find, well, there we go, bleach bit. If you want to get out of there, just hit that. It'll bring you back here. You got your kind of your different, I guess you could say, different rows or panels. So you go from one, and they're in alphabetical order. If you see A, B, C, so it's nice. And then from L, go down some more. See what we got. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I'm wondering, do I have to reinstall my no, it's there. Okay. So that's kind of cool, I guess. I usually just get my apps. I'll find what I need. I wonder if you could just drag. Let's see. Sorry, guys. So if I wanted Blender, if we want Blender over here, we should be, yeah, it's still the same. Blender's been added to your favorites. Okay, cool. So activities. So that's that. So that's the app. I don't know what you would call this app grid. You have searching functionality. So if you start with like A, Amazon comes up. Amazon. So we got the Amazon thing there. So that's definitely kind of cool. Okay. So I just press escape to get out of this, and that's that. Okay, that was Windows, but I don't use the Windows. Somebody else can go about on that. So let's see. I'm kind of curious what the software store looks like. It looks rather similar to 16.04, just a little bit more clean. Wow. So they actually have Minecraft in the store now. That's kind of cool. So I'm wondering if I should uninstall. I do the Java version. I don't know if this would be native or if it's still, because that's what I got going on there. But I'm kind of curious. So okay, maybe we could install Minecraft. This is the first time I didn't look in the 16.04 store, so I could I could have missed it, but let's. I wonder. I don't think it would have any conflict with what I'm doing, right? Let's. It says Java Edition, but let's do this. Okay. So, right on. That's pretty dope. Nice. There could be because I already have the Java files in there, or I don't know if they'd be the Java files, but I already have a directory, so I'm hoping it don't. You know, it could just be like a front end for it. I could get rid of what I have in my directory, but damn, that's rather cool. So they got Minecraft now, Android Android Studio. So there's probably a couple new apps and things that they've integrated to 18.04 that I haven't seen. So it definitely might be like RetroArch. I think that was there before, so it might be cool to go through that. So that's pretty sweet. So it's a little bit cleaner than 16.04. I kind of like the layout. I like how they have how it's set up here. You go to the games category, featured games. It sometimes takes a minute to load. You know, so, go to all the games. So there's quite a bit. You got some little things to keep you busy there. You got your other categories, audio and video. I got a snag. I wonder if it's the latest. It probably is. I got VLC. I don't know what the difference is. VLC and VLC Media Player. I gotta snag that though. It don't matter. Any version of that works fine. Whether it's the latest version or not, it gets the job done. Sorry about that, guys. I'm getting kind of dry over here. So there's kind of an example of what the audio section. I like how it's organized like this. I don't know why these big tile like things as in 16.04 it seemed like it was one row of tiles and they or whatever if you want to call them and it was like like right here to the left and you would just scroll down and like read a explanation and then click install. So this is definitely kind of rather cooler, you know, rather cooler look than what 16.04 LTS has it. So that's kind of cool. So looking at the audio there, communication and news. So could that be like messengers and yeah, stuff like that. What is it called? Tweet. Did I get it right? Tweet or tweet? Twitter. Twi- Call it shit. Tweet. All right, yeah, but yeah. So I'm definitely feeling the look of the Ubuntu software store here. There's anything you need pretty much. They got it here. You gotta love open source software, guys, and Ubuntu has been up there. It's a good distribution. I just don't know if it's necessarily older hardware friendly. I mean, you could probably tweak it to run good, but I don't have the best machine. But for the time that it was probably one of the better machines. Processor wise, I'm still running like an i5 and this thing 8 gigs of RAM, so it's decent for a a laptop, just basic stuff. Like I said, I got a MacBook Pro. I've gone through three of them. Started off with one, traded it for a MacBook Air, and then ended up back with a MacBook Pro. So I'm using that, but it works. It works, and I'm happy with what it is. And this Ubuntu is definitely pretty awesome. I just don't know how friendly this is to older hardware. I got an older version of, I mean, probably an older version for an older hardware. I got an older version of Fedora on an older tower that works good. But I'm thinking of maybe checking out Mint because it seems like Mint might run on some older stuff. I got an older laptop that has Mint on it, 2000. 7 Sony Val. It's like a Core 2 Duo, 2 gigabytes of RAM. But I run Mint on it and Windows 7, and Mint runs okay on it. So maybe I could try to find something even a little more optimized. I don't know if Ubuntu would run on it, but maybe like one of the Debian ones, or that Manjaro looks nice, but I'd have to look into that too. But it seems that generally once they all get pretty optimized, they might you know take or give or take a few things here or there run the same. But this is pretty cool, guys. So I'm definitely liking it. So same 3 tabs up here. Of course, you got your all categories. You got what's installed. There should be the the remove buttons there, so you can remove anything if you have to do that. That's not too bad. Anything, look, all this stuff you can remove, and it tells you how much space it's taken on your drive. So that's pretty cool. Some things you can't though. Look, okay, utilities, you can't get rid of gedit, GNOME calculator. I mean, maybe launch. You pretty much got launch for those terminal, so you can't remove that stuff. If there's any updates, you could check them there. So definitely, the Ubuntu software store seems like it got a little bit of a I guess you could say a face uplift from 16.04. I'm liking it. I'm definitely liking it. So that's cool. I'm sure. Let's see if Updater has the same screen that'll pop up, and you know, kind of same kind of horizontal. I'm sorry, kind of long type screen there. Okay, we should be up to date. Good. I'm one of those best practice types. So let's just make sure everything is up to par. You know, might as well even do upgrade while we're at it too. Should be good. Okay, so we are good. Terminal screen looks the same. The software store definitely got an update. I'm sure package manager looks the same. I don't think I need to check out any games now. Let's see, what is this Nautilus? Looks like this file manager. You got a recent thing there. Okay, that's kind of cool. Your home files. We could if you want to hide those, just Control H, so you don't really, you know, what's on your desktop, documents, downloads, um, pictures, music, pictures, videos, trash. All right, kind of definitely looks a little different compared to 16.04. So so that's pretty cool. I do like the wallpaper. It's nice change from the purple. I'm gonna have to change the. This is different. Like I said, my panel stuff was all the way to the right. You'd see my name. You see the Well, you'd have where you could click the calendar, the time, um, all that stuff was on the right side over there. So that was kind of cool. This is rather different. Okay, of course, Friday, April 27th, and if you have any notifications, you can go ahead of time. Look, look at June 27th. Okay, May 27th would be on a Saturday, so there's your a network thing. Like I said, the battery icon changed. It went from being kind of like a flat horizontal design to a vertical design, so that's pretty sweet. If you click your arrow, you got your volume there. You want to turn down your brightness, of course. I don't think that will work this way because the way I got it. So connect with your Wi-Fi. If there's any turn off, okay. I don't see anything fully charged, so that's You know, it's telling me I'm fully charged. Let's take it off. So unplug now. Power settings. So you could definitely keyboard brightness. That's pretty sweet. I don't need Wi-Fi, so turn it off. Bluetooth off. Nice. Automatic suspend. You got your fully charged. It says fully charged, but then there's 50%. So I don't know what that means. Um, so that's kind of cool. That must mean like airplane mode. I bet that means Wi-Fi is off. Probably. So if I turn it off, boom. But I'm not using the Wi-Fi. But I guess I don't need airplane mode on or whatever. So that's kind of cool. Bluetooth. I don't need the Bluetooth on since I'm not using it. And here's my username. Obviously, you could go to your account settings. So it'll have you know date and time, automatic date and time, automatic time zone, time format, AM, PM. There we go. That's cool. Before you would have to like change the variables, and I think like what is it like uppercase R is like 24-hour time. So the A finally changed there. It's in the middle. So you definitely got a bit of an update. As this was cool how to change the time there. I don't remember being able to do that. Maybe it was as easy as that, but I thought I had to go in there and actually like change like the R. Like it was like uppercase R was like 24-hour time and lowercase R was like AM, PM or 12-hour time. So it seemed a little a little more difficult. So you can go to about and see where we're at. Do 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 do. All right. So that's that's kind of cool. Definitely tell you about your computer there. Your default applications. So Firefox. I like Chromium too, but we'll leave it. I don't use the Mail app, although maybe I should. I don't know if there's advantages to using an email app or just like logging into it over the internet. Maybe so, maybe not. Don't use calendar, and I don't use any of that other stuff. But they definitely upgraded this part, so we're gonna get out of here. Go back here, okay. So there 2 hours and 27 minutes, 50%. So that's telling us about our battery there. Could change. Let's see. Wi-Fi is off. Okay. So I think we're that's cool. We'll leave it. We'll just leave it. Um. Okay. So if you look at my name, obviously account settings once again, and then here's like. Okay, so that would be your power, right? So we have cancel, restart, power off. So then it's cool. It got a little dimmer. Watch this. Look. See, and then watch when I press cancel, it like gradually. Unless I was tripping, maybe it seemed like it did. Okay. Oh, yeah, see, and then it finally kicked in. The gradient took a minute to apply. Okay, so then our log in and log out options. Once you hit that, you log out. You'll get your what is this log screen, log out screen, lock screen here. Time, date, whatever, activities. I think you could even get to a terminal here if you do alt. What is it? Alt Control F2 or something, but we're not doing that yet. So, if you click the mouse, it doesn't seem like the mouse is we could go like there, lock screen, and it looks like it switched the video on me. So let's go ahead and we'll just go ahead and get in like normal. So they've definitely did a couple of new things here, which I like. You got quite a bit of options there. Your log out, log option there. You go to your. This is where it really seems like they got a makeover though. Like here in the settings, I mean it's instead of having the icons like it would have across the screen in 16.04. Now they're like in a list, like it had icon for like dock, icon for I mean it does, but they're kind of in a little black and white list here, kind of minimized. I like that, it's kind of cool. I mean, I like the icons before, but this shows you everything, you know. So you got your background options, lock screen, of course. Yeah, I wasn't sure what it's called. Auto hide the dock, icon size, show on. Okay, notifications, search, search in files, terminal, Ubuntu store, language, universal access. So they definitely did a bit of a remix here. The settings panel, if you want to call it, our settings screen, settings menu offers has quite a bit of a different look, as like I mentioned before, if you're used to 16.04, you remember the icons, and it would have like, the name and then the little icon of it, and they would be, in like a in like what is that? I get a row and a column mixed up, but they would be in going across, like you'd have one, two, three, four, five, six, and then you'd have the next row or column, next row under it, then the next row, and these are like minimized. It's not icons anymore. They're like in a list with black and white icons and little icons next to it. So I kind of think that's cool. It's a little cleaner, So you got all your online stuff there if you want to connect to the cloud, privacy. Um, I'll have to mess with all that here soon. Sharing, if you want to share for like a Samba SMB. Here's your sound stuff. Built-in speaker, digital output, HDMI display port. So, over amplification allows raising the volume above 100%. It's better to increase application volume settings if possible. There's your balance. So, you got all your sound settings there. Your battery settings, 2 hours and 30 minutes remaining, 48%. So I don't know if that means it's 48% charge or if what, because I've had the thing plugged in all, for a couple hours. So I don't know. That's kind of, or maybe that's just what it means. I don't know. My battery's kind of screwy. Okay, so you got power saving options here. We seen that. You got network options, wired, connected, 100. I gotta check, and I think that's my router. I mean my modem holding me back because I know I get faster than that. I think I get like 150, and that I don't know. That's probably something I have to look into. Okay, so the devices. You got your display. I think we looked at. I had to look at this earlier because, as I mentioned, I don't know if I was on mirror or join displays, and it recorded my bottom screen during the actual upgrade to 18.04. It actually recorded my bottom screen, which was not my desktop or anything, just like a purple screen on the actual laptop screen, and then the monitor screen was displaying like what you guys see here, you know. So it was rather weird. So that's that. But there's quite a bit of options there. So look, we got display, we got stuff for the keyboard shortcuts, a mouse and touchpad. If you want to add a printer, what to do with media, any kind of media you put in there. If you have one of those tablets, okay. With each device needs an up-to-date color profile, easy cap monitor, laptop screen, not calibrated. So that's so there's quite a bit of options there. I don't know what details means. We go to details. Okay, yeah, gonna tell us about you know You could check for updates right here. Sometimes there is. Okay, it says Ubuntu software is ready. So something came down in a notification. So let's see. Unless maybe. No, maybe not. That was weird. I thought I seen it come up on the top of the screen. But that was kind of cool. So let's go ahead and go back there again and see. Just, Ubuntu software is ready. It says it's ready, but yet it says my software is up to date. So we must be up to date. But that's pretty much that, guys. I just really wanted to mess around, that's all. I did get the installation video, but gee, that was like an hour video, but it was a good test. It was a test to actually see if my capture card is kind of screwy. Like I said, it breaks up videos sometimes into 15 minutes, but on that installation video with the or the upgrade video to from 16.04 to here, it recorded the whole video. It was like an hour and 20 minutes, and it recorded the whole video on one file, and it was like a gigabyte file. So I thought that was cool. So I don't understand, how this capture card works, how it splits up the videos, and if maybe it's on certain, media. Because I noticed, when I did the contrast video, that was on an NTS, is it NTSF? NTSF formatted hard drive, and it split it up. But then again, those videos were over 15 minutes. What it seems like is, it seems like when there's any certain kind of blankage, like in the video, like if the screen goes black or something like that, for maybe a certain period of time, couple seconds, is when it will switch to another video file. Because even with the installation video I noticed once the installation was done and I rebooted the laptop, that means boom, it restart, power went off or whatever. It had started, recording the second file during that time, but it recorded the whole hour and 20 minutes, one take. So I don't know how the capture card, if it detects like a change in video like that, as if a black screen, going blank like that causes it to switch to another file, instead of shutting off or what. But it's rather weird, how it works like that. But all right, I'm gonna go ahead, and just call it. I'm kind of curious how some things work now. I mean, they got Minecraft in the store, but I mean, I was already doing it, launching it how it's supposed to be, or how I launch it, but I don't know if that'll direct it to the the Java thing or what. But that's kind of cool, guys. So that's dope. But okay, your boy FR Double. I'm gonna bounce. You guys have a good one. We took a little bit of a look at Ubuntu 18.04 LTS, and LTS basically stands for long-term support. As I mentioned, there's many different releases of Ubuntu. The long-term support ones, they come out every now and then, but when they do come out, I think they offer like 5 years of, I guess you could say, support updates, security updates, and whatnot. As with the regular releases, I think they're on a schedule which they try to. I'm not sure. I think it could be every 6 months, maybe every 6 to 9 months or something. And those releases are basically just about putting new things out, new features out, testing new stuff and whatnot. You know. But yeah. So with those releases, they come out like every 6 months, and then I think with them, I think the when they come out, I think they give you support for, is it like 9 months, maybe 9, 10, 11 months, but it's not years. And then what you have to do basically is get the new version, the new one, as soon as it comes out, and then you're okay for like however many months, and then just keep doing that. So I kind of go with the LTS ones, because then you got a couple years to do what you got to do. But all right, your boy FREE guys. It's been great. I'm gonna clock out. Let me know in the comment section if you guys are using, Ubuntu or in any Linux distribution that you find, good. I'm looking for something that'll run on an older tower. Like I said, I run an older version of Fedora, but I might switch it up to a Debian distribution. But I got it's like a Hewlett Packard 2005 Windows Media Center, edition. I mean, I got 4 gigs of RAM on it, but I think it's got a single core like Athlon 3700 processor. But I know there's got to be one of those, Linux versions that could run on it. I mean, the older Fedora that I used in class, which was like Fedora 12, would have probably ran pretty good on it. And we were even using Fedora 12 on like newer systems compared to what I had, but I was running like Fedora 14 on it or something, and it was running okay. But all right, guys. Like I said, say what's up. Let me know what's good with with Unix. Yeah, there we go. Let me know what's good with Ubuntu. And if you guys like this, maybe I'll do more videos like this. If you have any questions about it, let me know. And it's pretty straightforward. With a lot of these operating systems, you can do basically the same stuff you're used to. Well, not you know everything, but for the most part, if you're a person that just wants to get on Facebook and all that, normal email and web browsing stuff, then you'll be fine using whatever. But you can do all that with Ubuntu too. So just just with the knowing of using a good operating system, a non-Windows, free, robust operating system, might make you feel like, hey, I'm running cool over here. But I'm all right. FR double. I'm gonna clock out. You guys have a good one. Peace out. Peace.